Hey guys, it's Annie. First and foremost, Black Lives Matter. Just gotta put that out there. If you follow me on Instagram, you already know my perspective and my viewpoint, which is just the truth. Like, Black Lives Matter. Racism is a thing. Things need to change. But also, like, 2020 has been a ride. It has been, like, hit the thumbs up button if you're shocked and did not think in January that 2020 would go this way. Actually, quick story. I was filming a video panel with several people early January. It was with Master Sri Arkashana, who is a Himalayan yogi, Preston Smiles, as well as Melissa Pierce, who is a very well-known therapist. We were filming a video on 2020 predictions, and Master Sri Arkash, I don't even want to say his name. I'm just gonna call him Master because I butcher his name. His prediction was that there was going to be a lot of chaos, a lot of struggle, death, issues with job loss and poverty, natural disasters, things of that sort. And I was just like, no, I'm not gonna listen to that. I'm gonna live in my world of rainbows and ponies, and I reject that. It was insane. The day after that prediction was really when the hard-hitting Australian fires really started hitting the news and the media, and people were really talking about it. 500 million wildlife have died through these fires. And then after that, the virus hit. Quarantine, and then the murder of George Floyd. It's been a heavy year, but I want to address how we can make changes in a positive way and a progressive way rather than just living out of anger and frustration and rage. And then also the fact that you don't have to give up on your goals and what you want for your life. Like, everyone is messaging me asking me, should I give up on my 2020 vision board and just like say screw it because the world's falling apart? And I say no to that. I've actually manifested a lot of things on my 2020 vision board regardless of what's going on in the world. And if you would like me to make a video on the things that have come true through all that's happened recently, let me know in the comments and I will totally make that happen. But I want to challenge you. Do you want to look at 2020 as the year that everything sucked and it was so horrible? Or do you want to look at it as like the year that things were shaken up and change really happened? I challenge you to notice the struggles, but also, more so even, put your energy into the positive shifts, because we can't take away what's been done and the pain and the suffering and the hurt, but we can create more of the positive shifts with that. What we focus on expands. Where is your focus? Where you're focusing on, that is the experience and the emotions that you're bringing into your life. And I'm not saying don't feel the negative emotions that come with the heaviness. Use that as data, learn from it. And again, with George Floyd leading to protests and all of that, like, this is going to lead to so much positive change. People are shifting their perception. Laws are being changed, and it's just a start. And while some people are like, no, but it's not enough. Yeah, we still have so much more to go, but can we celebrate the wins as well? Because that's what's going to propel and really uplift everyone. If we're constantly focusing on every single aspect that's bad and never like celebrating the wins, we're going to have a never-ending stream of negatives that can pop up and problems. There's always going to be problems. And I also want to point out that this is a gift for you to turn inward. When things seem hectic, we all want to point our fingers and say, they're doing this wrong, they need to do this differently, call out culture. But I challenge you, when you feel the need to point your finger at what other people are doing wrong, that's a sign that you're triggered. And a trigger is simply showing you what you do not have healed within yourself. So although you're seeing all these things outwardly that you don't like, that trigger is a sign to point that finger right back around at yourself and say, oh wait, what do I need to heal? What do I need to shift? And it's not about blaming yourself or holding all this guilt. Like, I don't want you to hold guilt. I want you to look at, again, everything as data. Like, ooh, this doesn't feel good. What does this mean? Get curious about it. Don't blame, get curious about it. What do I need to shift? What things have I done in my past that weren't a positive impact on this specific cause? Maybe you're even just triggered by people calling out racism and you're like, well, I'm not racist. Why are you putting this on me? Okay, so my first question is, if that's how you're feeling, what is this trigger? Get curious about it. Why are these like defensive feelings coming up? Are there people in your family who are racist? Did you maybe have a very narrow-minded belief system growing up that maybe in your earlier years it felt a little rocky? Because I can definitely say that for myself. I grew up with a lot of inappropriate humor all the time, but that doesn't reflect who I am. But I can look back on that and like forgive the experience and not hold on to shame based off of the environment I was in. And then on top of that, if you're like, but I'm not racist, why are people doing this to me? Again, check your trigger, also check your privilege. Maybe you're not outwardly trying to discriminate, but are you going out of your way to make people feel accepted? This is one thing that I've learned. I can personally speak on the fact that I do not have any conscious memories of me ever trying to like cross the street to avoid any person regardless of their race or gender or anything like that. But because I know that it's an issue and a pain point for a lot of people, I, from all of this going on, am going out of my way that if I'm passing someone who is of the Black community or just a different race in general or just any human, but especially of the Black community because of the pain that they face, I am going out of my way to make eye contact and to smile and say like how's your day? Like good evening, good whatever, you know? And I want the people who I cross paths with to know that they are valued and they are loved and they're viewed as equal human beings. And so that is one shift I'm making, to make those who appear different, it's all appearance, those who appear different to know that they are welcomed by me and they are seen as equals by me, and I want them to succeed and I want good things to happen. Also, one of my clients, I wanted to share some pointers that she gave to me. She is this beautiful, strong, independent, loving, bubbly, high vibe Black woman, and she did me the honor of giving me examples of things that I could share with you guys to help you maybe shift simple things that you can do in your life. Things such as buying books from Black authors. If you know Gabby Bernstein, she is a law of attraction manifestation person. Anyway, Gabby Bernstein, her personal mentor is a Black woman. Her name is Raw Goddess, and she just came out with a book herself. And I decided I'm actually gonna give this book away in this video. I will tell you how to do that at the end. So there's a resource right now. Read more books by Black authors. Get educated, get your inspiration from them. Someone who I love, his name's Michael Beckwith, and he is in the spirituality, law of attraction, manifestation world. He's a motivational speaker. There's a ton of Gaia documentaries with him in it. If you've watched the documentary Heal on Netflix, it's amazing, you should watch it, but he is in pieces of that as well. Also supporting locally Black-owned businesses or just Black-owned businesses in general, like that's a way you can help. Check out the makeup you're using. Do they have a wide range in skin tones for their foundation? Because that's a simple thing that a lot of people don't think about, but in itself, just having white shades, that's discrimination in its own way. There's a lot of little things that you can think about. Even the fact that the skin colored crayon was always a beige color crayon. Like what message does that send little Black kids? Skin is nowhere near what they look like in a crayon package. Just little shifts, but also know it starts on an individual level. If we all learned to love ourselves, to treat ourselves well, to treat others well, the world would be a different place. And of course, we're never gonna get rid of all of the hatred and all of the discrimination. Like, do you think that the cops that murder these people, do they love themselves? No. Again, a person who is filled with love, not ego, love. They don't do those things to other people. It starts again on an individual level. There's another piece of this that I want you to really consider that I've been playing with a lot in my personal life and reality, and that is that there's two big pieces of us. There's our human body, which I just like to call it like my little human, like I call my body like, this is my little human. I was born into this little human like it's an avatar, and I gotta take care of it, and I gotta feed it, and I gotta, you know, I just gotta care for her. And I view myself with so much more compassion when I'm like, oh, this is like my own human. My soul was given this little human to take care of, and I'm gonna love her, and I'm gonna protect her, and I'm going to treat her right. So with that though, the human experience in our bodies, that's where the confusion comes. That's where the ego lives. That's where the judgment is. That's where the pain is, the emotional pain. That's where we feel things. And it's really confusing to be a human sometimes. And the information we get, it's just very overwhelming. The senses we feel, it's very overwhelming. And we get caught up in it. But then that's just one piece of us. The true, real piece of us is our soul self. Like, our soul doesn't come with the ego. Our soul is love. Our soul doesn't have fear. Our soul doesn't fear death. Human, this is the confusing part. But I'm just like, oh, my silly little human, she gets confused sometimes. I gotta care for her. But my soul self knows so much better and only wants love and only wants to love. So when your little human that you need to take care of gets triggered and angry and frustrated and confused, you gotta, from a soul level, tend to that. Take care of your human experience and your emotions and self-soothe, and don't shame yourself and don't tear yourself down, and remind yourself that this is all just an experience of growth and transformation for our entire lives. And take care of that piece of you before reacting out of being triggered. Like, we get triggered and we react, but no, when you get triggered, turn inward, take care of your little human, and once you got your little human self-soothed, then come from a soul aspect, like your higher self. How would your higher self react? And you don't even have to think of it as like a spiritual aspect. Think of your higher self as the best version of you that only is coming from love, wants love for yourself and for everyone else, and wants the best for the world. Like, how do you react from that perspective? How can you view everyone and everything from that perspective? From that perspective, I can see the pain on all sides of every argument ever, but that doesn't mean I'm not like set more so like Black Lives Matter. That's like the side I'm on, but I can understand the conditioning each person has and why people act the way they do, and not just react to that out of trigger, but from a place of understanding, while also guiding myself in my human experience to greater good, to greater change, to greater transformation. It's a process. It's a lot. I'm a life coach. I've been doing personal development on myself and professionally like for a while. And it's a lot to really take in and comprehend, but it's where freedom comes from. You can still acknowledge the pain in the world, acknowledge it. Also know that the news, it's their job to report on the bad stuff in the world. And while there's bad stuff, there's always going to be some amount of bad stuff. There's also simultaneously good things happening from it. I really don't think that the shifts that are being made in the world today would be made if it wasn't for the fact that the virus hit and then we were stuck inside and then the murders happened and people were just fed up. Like, it took that compounded pressure to shift and make change happen. I always say, with growth comes growing pains. 2020, these are the growing pains. 2020 wasn't like the year that everything fell apart and the world ended. 2020 was the growing pain that leads to the growth, that leads to the transformation, that leads to actually a lot of positive shifts coming from this, and I truly believe that. Like, we're gonna look back and be like, wow, that was an intense year, but that's when everything shifted. Anyway, I hope you got some things out of this video, but as I said, I'm doing a giveaway. First of all, the winner to my previous giveaway is on the screen, and this video I will be giving away the book. I don't know the title of the book off the top of my head, but it's from Raw Goddess. So to win this book, you must be subscribed, you must click the like button, and then leave in the comments your name, what state or country you're from, and then also let me know what internal or outward shifts you're making to lead your personal life and the world into a better state. Like, what part are you playing? And it can be so simple. Maybe you're just vowing to smile and make eye contact with more people. Nothing is too small. Any positive shift is worth celebrating. But that is all I have for you today. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I will see you soon with a new one. Bye, guys.